Buenos dias, gang. Today is Friday. I was going to say Monday, but my goodness, it is Friday, May 8th. We are closing out the week and moving on into a new hemisphere. We are now fully into the Western Hemisphere. So let's kick it off with our country of the day. That would be Mexico. Mexico has many traditional cultures which rival that of the Egyptians and Europeans. We're talking about folks like the Olmec, the Aztec, the Mayan, which are also a little bit into Central America. Also, Mexico is known to have deserts and jungles, oh my, along with mountains. Yeah, it's a vast and varied country, the third largest country in all of Latin America. Speaking of Latin America, that is our next region, and there might be some confusion about what is Latin America. For our purposes, we're going to be talking about basically everything south of the United States. So we're going south from the Rio Grande River all the way down to Tierra del Fuego, way down at the southern tip of Argentina, Tierra del Fuego, which by the way means land of fire. How metal is that? But they also have penguins there. Kind of crazy. So we're talking about something like 20 different countries, 14 different territories, the Caribbean, Central America, South America. That whole region of the world is going to be our next focus. It is going to be awesome. It's going to be excellent. You might be wondering, why does it call it Latin America? That is because the countries of Latin America speak the Romance languages. And we're not talking romance like love, we're talking romance like Roman, as in Latin. So we're talking Spanish, which is the predominant language, but also Portuguese all throughout Brazil, and French kind of scattered throughout the Caribbean. Then, of course, hundreds and hundreds of native and indigenous languages throughout the region. But that is Latin America. So we're going to get on with things today. Briefly, a recall to yesterday, your Journal 2 question. Your Journal 2 question asked you, what advice would you give to yourself back at the beginning of the year? Man, I gotta say, I got a little emotional, more on that in a second, reading that advice that you gave to yourselves. But I want you to think about this for a second. The advice that you gave yourself, that present you gave to past you, that is advice that future you could definitely use next year. So many of you talked about working hard, taking advantage of every opportunity, about going big and putting yourself out there, about cherishing your time with your classmates and your friendships and your teachers. And just really, I think now that you're not in school, you're realizing just kind of how much you might miss that physical experience. So next year, consider the advice that present you gave to past you also to be advice for future you, because that's advice that will apply very much to you all next year during your freshman year. Today, a couple of things. Let me just kind of scroll down and see what we got. Yes, your journal question number 2 for today. We got your B's and T's, your blooms and thorns for the week, along with our weekly check-in. My bloom, similar to last week, just hearing from you. I got a lot of emails and just kind of interaction with all of you this week. That was definitely the highlight of my week. My thorn was reading your journal responses from yesterday. Just kind of how big of a bummer I think it is for all of us now as the year is starting to come to a close and we're realizing that it just kind of ended at spring break physically in the classroom. So just reading that and recognizing that was just kind of a bit of a bummer for me, as I'm sure it was for you as well. Today, your first journal question though, all that beauty. The Rainforest. Man, that song is a banger. It is a jam. It is going to be your summer jam. The original Rainforest rap. Normally we would celebrate that in class, but we're going to have to do it from a distance. So it's linked in the journal question, but give that a listen. It is 6 minutes of early 90s rap glory. It is amazing. It is fantastic. Soak it all in, just as the rainforest soaks in the rain. And tell me what you think about it in the journal question today, along with your B's and T's, your blooms and thorns. And then we are on to our next big topic, like I said, Latin America. So we're going to start the way we start pretty much every unit, with a choice project. We're going to be taking a very similar approach to the one that we did with Sub-Saharan Africa, which means today is just a reading day. There's an article that will be assigned to you. And all you need to get done today is to simply read the article. You can print it off and do it on paper if that's your jam, or you can do it digitally if that's your jam, but you're going to highlight and annotate it. There are all the directions that you will need within the assignment post. By the way, you're going to have to scroll down just like you did earlier this week to the assignment Dropbox to find your assignment post. It's not going to be on the main daily work page, but you're just going to scroll down just a little bit to the assignment Dropbox. Everything will be in there, but your task for today is simply to read the article one time and to highlight and annotate as you go. We're going to continue with it on Monday, but you're not actually turning anything in today. You're just going to read it to kind of familiarize yourself with it today. We'll be doing more with it on Monday. We've also got FlowCab linked out, so check that out. It was kind of a non-COVID related FlowCab, so that's kind of a nice refresher. There's a little bit in there, but not a lot. And that's really all we got. I hope you're all doing well. It's going to be a nice weekend, a little on the cooler side, but still nice. Remember to be bold, be kind, and make good choices. See ya.